Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances on behalf of everybody in this group who have joined and are about to join. Prabhuji, we are reading the Srimad Bhagavatam. We are on Canto 1 and Chapter 17. Chapter 17 is Punishment and Reward of Kali. And the text for today, Prabhuji, it is text 17. So I hand over to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Narayan Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Naruttamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiriyeta Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Seveya Bhagavate Utam Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Nashtaki Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Dharma vacha etadva pandavai yananam yuktam artha bhayam vacha yesham guna ganai krishna do tyado bhagavan krita. Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, and purport. The personality of religion said, these words just spoken by you befit a person of the Pandava dynasty, captivated by the devotional qualities of the Pandavas. Even Lord Krishna, the personality of Godhead, performed duties as a messenger. You can read the purport, Mata.
Purport. The assurances and challenges made by Maharaj Parikshit are never exaggerations of his real power. The Maharaja said that even the denizens of heaven could not escape his stringent government if they were violators of religious principles. He was not falsely proud, for a devotee of the Lord is equally as powerful as the Lord, or sometimes more powerful by his grace, and any promises made by a devotee, though it may be ordinarily very difficult to fulfill, is properly executed by the grace of the Lord. The Pandavas, by their unalloyed devotional service and full surrender unto the Lord, made it possible for the Lord to become a chariot driver, or sometimes their letter messenger. Such duties executed by the Lord for his devotees are always very pleasing to the Lord, because the Lord wants to render service to his unalloyed devotee, whose life has no other engagement than to serve the Lord with full love and devotion. Maharaj Parikshit, grandson of Arjuna, the celebrated friendly servitor of the Lord, was a pure devotee of the Lord, like his grandfather, and therefore the Lord was always with him. Even from the time when he was helplessly lying in the womb of his mother and was attacked by the blazing Brahmashtra weapon of Ashwathama. The devotee is always under the protection of the Lord, and therefore the assurance of protection by Maharaj Parikshit could never be without meaning. The personality of religion accepted this fact and thus thanked the king for his being true to his exalted position. Hare Krishna. Over to you.
The personality of religion said, these words just spoken by you befit a person of the Pandava dynasty. Captivated by the devotional qualities of the Pandavas, even Lord Krishna, the personality of Godhead, performed duties as a messenger. So, we should know this discussion is between the bull, who is representing Dharma, and the cow is representing the earth. So it's the bull speaking and glorifying Maharaj Parikshit. Prabhupada says that it is not that Dharma or the bull was exaggerating or eulogizing Parikshit Maharaj. It was true that he was a devotee right when he was in the womb of the mother and throughout his life. All of you know the meaning of the word Parikshit. The word Parikshit means one who examines. In Hindi, it's called pariksha. In Gujarati also, it's called pariksha. From that word comes parikshit. Was when he came out of the womb of the mother, as he grew older, he was always looking for that bluish person. Where is he? Where is he? That's why it's called Parikshit. And he was devoted to Krishna, even from very young age. It is said in his younger age, he used to worship Krishna. So in this way, whatever Dharma is saying is befitting, these words are befitting, that he was just like the Pandavas, or he was the Pandavas, of course, in the Pandav dynasty. Now, Pandavas are pure devotees of Krishna. Srila Prabhupada in his lectures glorify Pandavas many, many times. And if you go to India, there are many temples dedicated to the 5 Pandavas. People still worship Yudhishthira, Bhima, Arjuna, Sadev, Nakul. They are worshipping because they were pure devotees who were with the Lord. That's why in other lectures, Srila Prabhupada says, of 1 year, 6 months Krishna would spend with the Pandavas. He was so dear to them, and they were so dear to him. Why are they so dear to him? Is explained in the 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, verse number 29. If someone has the book, if you like to read, you can read. I'll read the Sanskrit. Samoham sarvabhuteshu name dveshyo asti na priya. Ye bachanti tu mam bhaktya maiteteshu chapyaham. Would you like to read? Anybody? 9:29.
Prabhuji, I don't have my Bhagavad Gita here.
Okay, I'll read it. I envy no one, nor am I partial to anyone. I am equal to all, but whoever renders service unto me in devotion is a friend, is in me, and I am also a friend to him. Now we can all become friends to Krishna. How? Is by rendering service to Krishna. Krishna makes it very, very clear. I envy no one. He's not envious of any living entity. And why should he be envious? Because he's the father of all the living entities. And then he says he's not partial to anyone. Many times people say he became partial in the war of Mahabharata, but there was a very good reason why. The Pandavas were following Dharma, and the Kauravas were not following Dharma. In other words, Krishna will not take the side of people who don't follow Dharma. Pandavas are pious, virtuous, following religious principles to the minutest extent. So why should he not be partial to him? That is explained here. He says, I am equal to all, but they render service to Krishna, and they became friends of Krishna, and Krishna became a friend of theirs. Not just friend, but much more than that. Friend he was with Arjuna, very close friendship. Otherwise, he had a very strong relationship with all of the Yudhishthira, Bhima, Sadev, Nakul, all of them, even Draupadi, even Kunti. They're very dear to Krishna. So, in that purport, Srila Prabhupada says that the rain, when it comes, it does not discriminate whether it's going to fall on the grass or on the ocean or on the rocks. The rain is distributed equally. In the same way, this example is very appropriate, which Srila Prabhupada gives, that it doesn't matter whether it falls on the rock, land, or water. Rain is rain. In the same way, Krishna is giving mercy to all of us. It depends upon us how to take up that mercy. Just like if it's raining outside, if you're in need of water, you just cup your hands or you take a bucket outside, you'll gather some water, and it's distilled pure water. So, when Maharaj Parikshit was ruling, even the denizens of heaven abided by the powerful government of Maharaj Parikshit. He was very strict. He would not allow religious principles to be broken, and he made sure that people abided by Varna and Ashram properly. And he was as good as Maharaj Yudhishthira. And he was not falsely proud. Devotees generally are become more powerful than Krishna. Now someone may ask how? Because Krishna bestows extra strength and power into a devotee, a pure devotee. Remember that. For example, like if you study the character of Prabhupada, Especially if you read Prabhupada Lilamrita, you'll find that he was an extraordinary person in every way, whether you say materially or spiritually. He was just extraordinary. And the things he did or could do, no human man can do. That means he was very, very powerful. That's why it is said that, it is explained that Sri Prabhupada, being a pure devotee, he is very dear to Krishna. When you speak the pranam mantra, we say, Namo Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Prishtaya, Bhutara. Prishtaya means very dear to Krishna. And he was so dear that Krishna empowered him to spread Krishna consciousness all over the world, which nobody could do before him. Others tried, but they failed. His own god brothers went to London, but they had no results. Sri Prabhupada came when he went, the results followed him. And today it's like a household word. Everybody knows Prabhupada. And he's becoming famous more and more and more. I was just reading one of the books of our Guru Maharaj, Gopal Krishna Maharaj, and he says that the mercy in the age of Kali Yuga is more easy. He makes a point how. If you want a mercy of a pure devotee, read Prabhupada's books. Very simple. We just have to read them, try to understand them. In every Prabhupada's books, he's put his mercy. When you open any book, just like, for example, we are reading the Bhagavatam. Now, in the purport, if you read properly and try to study and meditate upon him, the mercy is already there because it's Prabhupada speaking to you. So this way, Maharaj Parikshit was a pure devotee that all the denizens of heaven loved him and made sure that everything goes on nicely. In the Vedic times, if the things went wrong in a country, the blame would come on the king. Oh, the king must have done something wrong. It happened during the times of Maharaj Ramachandra also. And it happens in many, if you read the Puranas, there are many examples given how some problems appeared or manifested on its own will. But they had brahmanas, so the king would consult the brahmanas, try to find out what went wrong, and they'll pinpoint what went wrong. In the times of Maharaj Parikshit, his government was so good that nothing went wrong. Now he was a pure devotee, and when a pure devotee says something, it has to happen. It's also explained here, Srimad Prabhupada's lecture. In that verse, Name Bhaktya Panashati, go declare boldly, Krishna tells Arjuna, that my devotee never perishes. Now Krishna would have said that my devotee never perishes. Why did he tell Arjuna to declare it? Because Krishna can change his statement to support his devotee, like in the war of Mahabharata. Before the war even started, he had told, I will not pick any weapons. And he did not pick up weapons, but he used the wheel like a weapon when he was advancing towards Bhishma, was ready to kill Arjuna to protect his devotee. So this way, this is an example that once a devotee said, then Krishna will have to fulfill those words. In the same Srimad Bhagavatam, when we all know the story of Lord Nrsimhadev, that in order to fulfill the words or to make the words truth, the Lord emerged from the pillar to protect Parikshit and to destroy Hiranyakashipu. Now someone may say that, but he was a pure devotee. What about Brahma? Even Brahma's words were kept intact. Brahma had given a benediction, and Lord Nrsimha made sure that he will not infringe any of the statements of Brahma. And in this way, he was killed by keeping the words of Brahma and even of Prahlad Maharaj intact, no change. So if a pure devotee has told you something, it has to happen. You know, ISKCON is one very famous example. Before Prime Minister Modi, and before that there was Atal Bihari Vajpayee, if you know. And at that time, he was maybe just an ordinary government officer. And he came to see His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj. And there's so much respect he had for Maharaj. And Maharaj told him on his face, someday you'll become the leader of this country. And he did become the president, I mean the prime minister. And he's the one who did the opening of a Delhi Radha Parthsarthi temple. So once some great Vaishnava speaks, it has to happen. That's why we should be very careful not to offend a Vaishnava, render service to a Vaishnava, that they happily give benedictions and blessings. So sometimes those who are not very strong in Krishna consciousness, they say, how can it happen? How can someone just smile at you or speak something? It has to happen. He may not speak anything, he may not even smile, but within his heart, if he blesses you, the blessing will come. And it comes to a pure devotee. In the Adi Purana, it's written that if someone comes to me for any material benediction, I will give him. Krishna says to Arjuna. But if someone wants devotional service, I'll not give him. I'll direct him to my devotee. That's why devotees are very important, very, very powerful. And Krishna served the Pandavas out of his pleasure. They are beautiful songs that Prema ke bas ratha hakyo. He rode the chariot of Arjuna out of love. Out of love, he protected Draupadi. Out of love, he protected Prahlad. Out of love, he protected Gajendra. Beautiful bhajans. And this glorified Krishna. And especially for the Pandavas, he played different roles. He played the role of a charioteer, a messenger, many, many roles, including picking up the place of the Brahmanas and serving Brahmanas and washing the feet of the Brahmanas. The Lord becomes the servitor of his servitors. This is the beauty of Krishna. Krishna is also called Bhakta Vatsala. He's very dear to Krishna. I mean, to his devotees. Devotees are very dear to him. There's so strong a bond between his devotees and Krishna that in no incarnation he has that strong bond, except in the coming of as Krishna. So it gives immense pleasure to the Lord to serve his devotees. We all know that he protected Parikshit. While he was in the womb, Parikshit has another name. It's called Vishnu Rata. Anybody knows the meaning of the word? Likes to try? Anybody likes to try? What does the word Vishnu Rata mean?
Is it protected by Vishnu?
Yes, he was protected by Vishnu even while he was in the womb of the mother. That's why it's called Vishnu Rata. And he was protected whole of his life. And with pleasure, he will serve his devotees. And if a devotee calls him, he will do his service. Even the devotee may not recognize that this is Krishna. He may take any form and serve his devotee. And there are thousands of examples in the Shastras and in daily life. You find devotees when they are in problem, or devotees when they are in need. And if they engage in the service of Krishna, Krishna comes to do their work personally. And it has happened. Even now, it's not that these things have happened thousands of years, even till the date today. This is the love Krishna shows to his devotees. And in the Bhagavad Gita, it says, Mahatmanastu Partha Devi Prakritam Ashrita. That the devotee is protected or he serves the internal potency of the Lord. Krishna has two potencies, Devi and Bahiranga Shakti. Antaranga Shakti, Bahiranga Shakti. Bahiranga Shakti means his internal potency. And Bahiranga Shakti means his external potency. The devotees serve the internal potency. And the materialistic people, they serve the external potency. What is the difference? The difference is people like to please their senses. That is called serving external potency. When the same senses are used to serve Krishna, then that is called serving the internal potency. That is the difference. The result is, if you serve the internal potency, you'll never become bonded by any karma. At the end of the life, you go back home. Whereas you keep serving the external energy, you are getting bonded daily. Even little things, they matter. To the minute, very minute, small detail, you commit offenses, you sin, you are getting bonded. And you get bonded every day. So a devotee is very careful that he does not do anything which will not please Krishna. The whole meaning of Krishna consciousness means to serve Krishna the way it will please him, not the way it pleases us. In the beginning, we do devotional service, which is very pleasing to us. Oh, I enjoy this. But when you go on a higher level, you do service, make sure that it pleases Krishna. Don't do anything which will not please Krishna. So the question may arise, how will we know? The answer is there in the scriptures. When you read the scriptures tell you how Krishna should be served. And if you want finer details of those, you consult your spiritual master. If you consult your spiritual master, he'll tell you, no, it should be done like that. In this way, a devotee is always out to serve his sweet Lord, who is Krishna. And what do you call? When, as far as Maharaj Parikshit is concerned, this is directly another protection of the Lord. He did not need to ask protection from anyone. He's always protected by Krishna. Now, it may raise a controversy. Then why was he cursed by a Brahmin? Why Krishna did not protect him? He still protected him. Had Brahmin not cursed him, we would have never had a chance to hear Bhagavatam. He was already a pure devotee. Even if he had to give up his body in the younger age, it doesn't matter. Sri Prabhupada says, a moment of Krishna consciousness is more valuable, much more valuable than a life long of 100 years. What is the use? You may live short, but your life should be rich, full of Krishna consciousness, full of nectar. That means live a quality life, not a quantity life. Quality life means Krishna in the middle of your life. That's why Krishna's Das Kaviraj says, Mare Krishna Rakeke, Rake Krishna Mareke. If someone Krishna is going to kill him, nobody can protect him. And if Krishna is going to protect someone, nobody can kill him. There are many examples. Even in the Bhagavatam is an example of Banasur. Banasur was a great devotee of Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva treated him like his own son. But when there was a battle between Krishna and him, Lord Shiva could not protect him because he had done offenses or he had done so many things which were wrong. It had to be corrected. So at that time, even Shiva could not protect him. Even Ravan could not be protected by Shiva or even by Brahma, even Hiranyakashipu. Great people, powerful people. That's why we find that even the demons who worship Brahma or Shiva, they come in the demonic category. Only the devotees who serve Vishnu come in the category of devas. That is a big difference. And people do not like this. Why are you calling us demonic? But that is the truth. If you exclude Vishnu from your worship of Krishna or Ramachandra, you are nothing but a demon. You may be worshipping great demigod. So that is the truth we should learn. Pandavas are protected many times. They were protected from poison, from fire, from cannibals. Draupadi was protected. Even their kingdom was looted, but Krishna brought their kingdom back. And many times Krishna protected them personally. And if you study Mahabharata or even Bhagavatam and read about Pandavas, you find them very close to Krishna. And Arjuna, personally, was protected during the battle of Mahabharata. When Mahabharata was going on, when the weapons would come towards Arjuna, then he would dodge them by taking the chariot left, right, up and down. Sometimes even the Rath had to go in the ground and the missile would pass and again he'll pop up. So people do not believe this, but if you read Mahabharata, you'll realize that actually, if Krishna was not the chariot of Arjuna, he would have died the very first day. But he survived. Furthermore, his fame became more, that because of Krishna, he won the war of Mahabharata and fulfilled the desire to make Maharaj Yudhishthira, his brother, the king of the entire planet. So any administrator in the line of the Pandavas will also be protected. In other words, if we follow the principles Pandavas followed, then what will happen? We will also get the same protection. It can be a very small endeavor, it can be a big endeavor, it can be a difficult endeavor, it can be an easy endeavor. Sometimes we take things to be very easy and we end up making mistakes. But from the very beginning, if you remember Krishna, you won't make mistakes. Everything will be fine. So this is the way the Pandavas are protected. And we have to follow the Pandavas. This is called devotional service. So in every point here Sri Prabhupada is making is that what Dharma is saying is befitting the words. I mean, his words are befitting, like he was glorifying the Pandavas and considered Parikshit none different from the Pandavas. Because Pandavas are always there to protect people. They're very, very powerful Kshatriyas. Many times they protected so many people. Even there is a case where even they protected Duryodhana. When Duryodhana was about to be killed by the Gandharvas, he played some mischief with some women and he was to be killed. But some reporter came, some messenger, he told Maharaj Yudhishthira that your brothers are in danger. Why don't you protect? He said, what is the problem? They explained everything. And Bhima was reluctant, but Maharaj Yudhishthira said, doesn't matter, they are offensive. Go and protect them. So Bhima personally went to protect Duryodhana. Yet he is shameless. That he was protected, he was set free. He had no respect for Dharma. Yes, he followed his Kshatriya Dharma very well. But as far as devotion is concerned, he was not at all respectful towards Vaishnava. Even in the story of Durvasha and what do you call, what's the name of the king? Ambarisha. The whole competition is between a devotee and a pure Brahmana. Durvasha is a pure Brahmana. He knew Brahminical principles very well, but he did not know the strength of devotional service, which is even purer than Brahminical principles. So just to become a Brahmin is not enough. Of course, in the beginning, we have to become a Brahmin. Follow Brahminical principles before we come to the level of practicing Krishna consciousness. So, devotee is always protected by Krishna. That is the main point here of this purport. For a devotee, Krishna will do anything. He will do anything, even to an extent that he will give himself up. Like when he came down the chariot to protect Arjuna, he came so swiftly towards Bhishma that his upper cloth fell down and he was running with a wheel in his hand. And he challenged Bhishma. So this is called out of love. And that's why I repeat that word, Bhakta Vatsala. Is very, very, what do you call, dear to his devotees, and his devotees are very dear to Krishna. And you can read many examples how he treats his devotee. It can be anyone, from the smallest to the biggest. Like when Sudama approached Krishna in Dwarka, and just a message came to Krishna that Sudama is here, he went running. No king will go running. to the gate of Dwarka to welcome him. Nobody will do that. But he did it. King generally will send a message, okay, go and get my friend. He didn't do like that. He went personally. This is called the love of Krishna. And in many cases, he won't waste time as far as the question of protection will come. He will protect. If you hear the story of Gajendra very, very deep, very much in detail, that when Gajendra spoke a stuti means a part of a prayer, not even the whole prayer. And you remember Krishna had to come, and he found the speed of Garuda to be lesser. He found Garuda to be slower. And he told us, Garuda, you're not swift enough. And we know that Garuda is very swift. He flies with the speed of the mind. And Krishna went even faster than that to protect Gajendra. So this is the relationship between Krishna and his devotees. That's why it's very difficult to understand a devotee. At times it's very difficult. Because if we try to estimate devotee with our own brains, material senses, we may go wrong. That's why it says, Vaishnava Kriya Bhujena Bhujahaya. Vaishnava Kriya means the activities of Vaishnavas are very difficult to understand. How he's doing things. It's very difficult. In the story of, in the past times of Sripad Ramanujacharya, his cousin called Govinda became a devotee. And originally he's a devotee of Lord Shiva, but when he understood Vaishnavism, he became a Vaishnava. And his followers once came to Ramanuja and told him, look at your brother, he's doing some nonsense. He says, what is he doing? He says, forcefully putting his finger in the mouth of a snake. I think I might have told you this past time before. I'll just repeat it. So Ramanujacharya went to look, and it was true. He's putting his mouth his hand in the mouth of a very poisonous snake. And he can easily die. But after some time, he took out something from the mouth of the snake. The snake fell down as if dead. And after a few minutes, the snake became alive and went away. So he asked Govinda, what were you doing? He says that snake was suffering because there was a thorn stuck in his mouth like that. And everybody was scared to go to the snake. And the snake was actually suffering. Imagine you are putting something hard between your two teeth, upper and lower teeth. You can't close, you can't speak. You can at the most moan. So I removed the thorn. That is what I did. So Sripad Ramanujacharya said that it's very difficult to understand the behavior of a devotee. He's merciful even to the snakes, even to the small insects. He won't kill any insect even. Like Mirgari, when he became a devotee, he was reluctant to put his foot on even an ant. This is a Vaishnava, very, very merciful. So the Pandavas were like this, very, very, very kind, very courageous, very powerful, but very devoted to God. The main quality of the Pandavas were that they were devoted to Krishna all of his life. We read earlier in the earlier chapters. The moment Maharaj Yudhishthira heard that Krishna has left the planet, he decided also we should live. They did not stay here. They passed on the kingdom to Maharaj Parikshit and they left. This is called real devotion. And you may not believe in ISKCON also. I recall this time, 1977, around 1977, when Prabhupada left his body, there's a very big disturbance throughout ISKCON all over the world. Many devotees left because Prabhupada was so dear to them that without him, they could not live. They left ISKCON and went away. Some of them came back, but many did not come back. And there was disturbance. It was felt in every temple, including our Nairobi temple. It was a very difficult period. But slowly, again, ISKCON came back. And still, it needs cooperation from all of us, hard work, tolerance, respect, and sacrifice to make this movement become still stronger. Because now the weakness is so many other movements, so many other sampradayas are working hard to compete with us. And they pick devotees from our ISKCON, take it there. And that is happening. Now, many people who are the people who live? Are the people who don't read Prabhupada's books or don't follow Prabhupada. They are the people who are taken away. And some of them may be even initiated devotees. It's very shocking. But this is what is happening. So this is our weakness. Otherwise, we have no other weakness. We are strong in every possible way. Hare Krishna. The time is up. If you have any questions, you can ask.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for today's class. I open it up to questions and comments, but before I can ask few questions till the other devotees are thinking. So, Prabhuji, this worship of the Pandavas, so I'm not surprised because you should worship the great devotees of the Lord. But do you worship them like you worship the Lord, or how do you?
No. We worship them like Vaishnavas, as pure devotees, not as Krishna.
Because
they serve Krishna, we worship them. And to attain any meditation, it becomes easier for them. Just like we worship Hanuman, not as the Supreme Lord, but as a pure devotee of Lord Rama. In a similar way, we also worship Pandavas.
So you can do the arti and everything the same way you
yes. Just like we do Guru Puja for Prabhupada, the same way.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for that clarification.
Anybody else has a question?
Yeah. Are there any other questions from other devotees? So I can ask other two questions.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, in this discussion between the bull and the cow and Parikshit Maharaj, so in those periods, the animals were also able to speak?
Yes, these are not animals actually. Dharma is represented by the bull. Though it has taken the shape of an animal, but it's not an animal. It's representing, just like in the time of Krishna, the Bhumi took the form of a cow and approaches Krishna. Didn't go as Bhumi Devi. Because Krishna likes cows. So she assumed the form of a cow and she was speaking. In the same way, in this case, the cow is the Bhumi, the same. And the bull is the Dharma. You find why Lord Shiva rides on a bull. This is the reason. Because even Shiva protects Dharma. That's why he sits on the bull. And Shiva is a pure devotee. Best of the devotees. Vaishnavanam yatha shambhu. So that is the meaning. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Any other questions or comments? Prabhuji, one more clarification. You said that when we worship the demigods, it is like demons. So
no, not worship them. They are not demons, but those who worship demigods, but do not recognize the supremacy of Vishnu, they are demons. Is it clear, Ma?
Yes, now it is clear.
It is explained in the Bhagavatam that those who don't accept Vishnu or Krishna as supreme, they may be great worshippers of demigods, but they are demons. You can't trust them. They are not reliable. But you can always rely and depend upon devotees of Vishnu. The devotees of Vishnu are not just truthful, but they'll keep the word of their honor. They'll never cheat you. As the worship of demigods can change any time to please themselves.
Yes, Urmila Mataji, please.
Prabhuji, I got mixed up with bull and cow. Bull is the dharma and cow is
Bhumi, earth,
Bhumi, earth, yeah.
Prithvi.
Prithvi, yeah. Dharti Mata.
Prithvi or Bhut, what do you call it? Bhumi is the same. Yeah.
Any
I
other?
think earlier in one class I said that every human being has 7 mothers, and one of the mothers is Bhumi, or a cow. Adomata, Guru Patni, Raja Patnika, Dhenu, Dhatri, like that. 7 mothers. We all have. Brahmani is the 7th one. So she was suffering because of Kali Yuga coming in. And it is Kali who had already chopped off the 3 legs of Dharma. That is the whole beginning of this chapter. The whole chapter is about this problem. And when Maharaj Parikshit sees it, he takes steps to correct it. And he reestablished all the 4 legs of Dharma. Okay, any other question?
There are no more questions or comments. I can hand over to Path Prabhu. Path Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
There's one quotation I'd like to speak of Chanakya Pandit. It says, before fear grips you, fight back. Beautiful quotation. Sometimes you get a fear. Don't be fearful. Fight it back. Become strong. In other words, if something is going wrong, don't just do anything. Don't be like a dumb fellow. Do something about it. Then Krishna will help you. Okay, thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Yeah.
So, Prabhuji, one thing is that, after Kurukshetra war, Lord Krishna told to inhalation all the miscreant and put the religious principle, establish the religious principle, so many things. Then he made Yudhishthira Maharaj the king of the planet, as you told. Then how did Krishna come for that region and establish the religious principle and make a Yudhishthira Maharaj as a king, as a pious king? Then immediately after he passed away or after he left to go back to Godhead, then how this Kali Yuga came and so many things have happened? Then what is the meaning of establishing the religious principle?
It is already, it will be explained as we read this chapter. That Krishna, as the day he left Prithvi, means this planet, Kali Yuga entered it. But as far as Maharaj Yudhishthira or the Pandavas were there, the effect of Kali Yuga was not there. Even Parikshit, who is after Maharaj Yudhishthira, the next king, the Kali Yuga was hardly seen anywhere. And as we read more verses further, he saw some discrepancies and he corrected it. But the Kali Yuga has to be bad. That is what I'm saying. When you say Kali Yuga, it means it has to happen. And it will happen in every family. Forget a country. Every family on this planet. You'll find people becoming quarrelsome and selfish. Am I right or wrong? Every family. People may say, oh, we have no problem, but everybody has problems. And who creates more problems? Is people within your family. And it's happening. No one is actually really happy. Kali Yuga, as Prabhupada says in the lecture, as Kali Yuga advances, don't think that it will become better tomorrow. No, tomorrow will become worse. So get ready for that. And how to prepare for the next day is to make sure you chant today nicely so that you can chant better tomorrow. So you are fit to face the Kali Yuga. He says, like if you want to enter into fire, you have to become like fire. So fighting with Maya means to become like fire and fight with Maya. Because Kali Yuga, the prominence, Maya is not just strong, but very strong. And Kali Yuga, as it increases, the ignorance will increase. So much of ignorance in people. that they will not respect Dharma anymore. Today we were invited for a kirtan at the Sanatan Dharma temple. And of course, the person had passed away. They said, oh, you should take prasad. And we knew that when we go to such temples, they mix up everything. So 1 hour program, 35 minutes was our kirtan. And we told them after kirtan we'll leave. And as soon as we started leaving, they started singing many other songs. Glorifying Lord Shiva, glorifying Sai Baba, and I don't know. We were not there. As you were walking out, they were glorifying demigods. So people actually have no good intelligence. Whom to worship, whom not to worship. We also worship Shiva, but not the way they worship. We worship Shiva as a devotee, as a Vaishnava. That is allowed. The gopis used to worship Shiva like that also. We also give respect to Brahma because he's on the top of our parampara. The whole parampara comes from Brahma, from Krishna to Brahma to Narayana and so on. We also worship Devi because we know Devi is very powerful, but she's working under the control of Krishna. So we have the right perspective. They don't have. That is where they go wrong. So yes, even in the time of Maharaj Yudhishthira, these things had already started, but very little. But as the time rolls on, it will become more and more and more. People are very confused, very ignorant. And people, really speaking, you'll find in a matter of years, will have no respect for Dharma anymore. Srila Prabhupada has worked very hard to make sure that at least in the age of Kali Yuga, the Sankirtan goes on. The chanting of Hare Krishna goes on. Even if they don't have knowledge, but everyone should be attracted to Kirtan. And we noticed that even in that temple, when you were doing Kirtan, everyone was singing, everyone was clapping, everyone was happy. Okay?
Hare Krishna,
Yes,
Prabhuji,
Prabhuji.
just is it okay to just say a comment? Thank you, Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you for the wonderful class as always. Just on Dharma, it just kind of makes me reflect that just the word Dharma, it is used and misused in so many wrong ways because it's become a very fashionable words to use nowadays.
Which
People
word?
being dharma.
Oh, Dharma.
And
Yes.
people use dharma as
Yes.
if it's a matter of fact word, whether you're following dharma or it's being it's something is adharma. So it just kind of makes me reflect on the fact that the real meaning and the true meaning of dharma is somewhere as we progress into Kali Yuga. The real meaning of dharma is slowly being
It is twisted.
destroyed. Yes,
Yes.
Prabhuji.
Dharma is twisted to suit one's own personality. You are
Yeah,
right.
yes, Prabhuji. Yeah,
They twist the meaning of the word Dharma, and they,
yeah,
in the name of Dharma, they do so much nonsense,
yeah,
which is not good. That's why you find that hardly you find a truthful person. Majority of people are capricious. They speak something on the mouth, and the heart, they are something else. It is very difficult to find. Sattvatas. Sattvatas means truthful people. Devotees are called sattvatas. Very difficult to find devotees. Sometimes you people come and glorify you because they want something from you. Once they get it, they will say goodbye. I have had many cases in my life like that. So you are right, Mataji. Okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you for the wonderful class.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for the nice class. Very simple explanation to all the topics. Also, thanks all the devotees who present here. I request everyone, please unmute yourself and chant Hare Krishna mantra for glorification of His grace. Rukma Prabhuji, please join. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। His Grace Rukma Prabhu ki jai. Hari Bol.
Very good. Thank you, Prabhuji, Sanatji.
Hari Bol.
Hare